Isn't most of life just trying to find light in the darkness? Welcome back to another video. I am just so glad to have you guys here. Yes, 2 videos in 1 week. It's good. It's good vibes, good times. Today we're going to be talking about the Pixel 4a. Now, if you guys didn't see my first video that I did, kind of shooting outside, seeing the sort of color and saturation range that I could get out of the Pixel 4a, I'll link that somewhere in frame. You'll see a link to it. It'll be great. You'll use it if you haven't seen it. Check it out. Otherwise, there's something big that I wanted to talk about the Pixel 4a that I just wouldn't be doing it justice to talk about this phone and this camera without talking about night sight and the low light performance that you can get out of this phone. So over the last couple of nights, I was going out, taking shots, both handheld on this and on a tripod, and I'm gonna share with you guys a couple of the results that we got out of it. So let's just dive in. This first shot that I have here, I was sitting out at this ice cream and burger joint. These cool neon lights coming down. You'll see here, just using night sight handheld, I had my wife take this shot. You're just getting all this detail. You can see that there's a tree behind this little burger shack. There's the vents for the grill. It's actually kind of gnarly how much is here that wasn't with your naked eye on this evening, and we'll get to that here in a sec. This particular shot, so you guys have the details on it, was at ISO. The Pixel registered it at ISO 64 at 1/117th of a second at f1.7, which is nuts, which is gnarly for a phone. Obviously, there's a lot of computational photography going on there, a lot of merging of images, but all in all, it made a really usable shot out of this. There's no edits here. None of these photos have any edits, as I wanted to show you guys what the colors look like, what the contrast looks like, and just how usable these shots are. A lot of these shots I did crop in just to get some more appealing framing, but that's even crazier that I can crop on a cell phone image and still have some great quality that I think looks really good for social media, YouTube, things like that. The shot was taken with the Moment Tele lens, so you do have some nice focusing, but it was nice to actually see that you can use things like the Moment lenses with night sight. I was kind of worried about how it would work with the algorithm and collecting light at different focal ranges, but all in all, I think it turned out really good. So the next night I went out and tried some tripod shots. Now, this first shot, I was just feeling lucky, if you will. I set up the tripod. I had the Pixel 4a with the Moment Superfish lens. I know it sounds crazy, but it actually ended up being really helpful having that Superfish lens, because framing in the dark, I'll show you a video of what taking this shot looked like versus actually what the shot looked like once the Pixel had time to stitch it together. Now the Pixel here says that this shot was ISO 150 at f1.7 and a 16-second exposure, but I was out there, I think this took almost 5 minutes to composite, where I had to set the Pixel 4a down on the switch pod tripod with the shoulder pod grip and just kind of let it hang back and do its thing. During that time while I was compositing the shot, you do see a countdown timer, which is really helpful. You do start to see the different levels of exposure that it's trying to get the shot and get as much dynamic range and as much out of the image as it can. But yeah, this night was completely pitch black. I'm kind of bummed that it was cloudy. I wish I had a clear sky so I could see what the astrophotography stuff would look like on here. But I really actually like how well it separated the colors out. If you actually look out in the distance here, you see on this dock, there's like a green light and a red light out in the distance on sort of this left-hand third. And even though we're doing this sort of longer exposure, the Pixel knows not to sort of poison the colors between the two. It's keeping that green very green. The red with the orange tint is still very separated from the green, and I'm actually really impressed by how this shot came out. Again, using that Superfish lens really helped reframe this shot. The shot was totally not framed up like this, but having sort of that wider field of view to then crop in and take a look at going, okay, how do I want to frame the shot, and framing it later in post actually helped out a lot. But again, no color corrections, no contrast changes, lighting changes, anything with these. And then this is the final one that I wanted to share. I did throw the Moment wide angle lens on here to make sure that I just tried all three Moment lenses that I had. I don't have the Moment anamorphic lens, or the macro lens for that matter, but it would be interesting to see what the anamorphic lens would pull off here with night sight. Moment, if you're watching this, let's find a way to do this with the anamorphic lens just to see what happens, right? This is with the Moment wide angle lens. I actually really like how soft the water got, but you still have clear clarity to tell that this is a water reflection. You're actually even going down and getting some depth to the water here in the center of the frame, where you can clearly see it's not just this shallow, soft, flat look. The lights coming off of it are super dramatic. The clouds actually have a little bit of contrast and detail and color to them, which actually helps just sort of fill out the frame. Obviously getting all this dirt in here was kind of interesting, just because I couldn't see any of this. Again, I'll try to flash up some footage here of me trying to frame these shots. Like, I couldn't see a thing out there. And the fact that this is the photo that came out from this session is, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty stoked on it. I think that's why it's important to go through and test out features like this. And I said this in the first Pixel 4a video that I did, is there's a lot of phones that are coming out right now that have a big marketing spend to tell you that, hey, this is the best camera that you're ever gonna use, and that's why you should pay $1,000+ US for a phone. And I think looking at the Pixel 4a and what you get, having the OLED screen, having the stock Android software on there, plus an incredible camera and a processor that can actually handle and keep up with some of this computational photography stuff at this price point, it really makes it hard to consider phones in the $1,000 range, or even well into the like high $700-800 range, when you can get this much out of this kind of a phone. If you guys are shooting on the Pixel 4a, please hit me up on Instagram. I'll link my Instagram below as well. Hit me up on Twitter if you guys want to chat about anything mobile photography related. I am going to be doing some more videos here on the EOS R and a couple other photography things, but yeah, still talking mobile photography and dedicated system photography type stuff. So it's gonna be a good time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Stephen Foster. If you're not subscribed already, I'd be honored if you would. Please be kind, both in life and in the comments below. Let's do it again soon. You know what's funny is I wore the light hoodie for the night sight video, and I wore the dark hoodie for the day shoot video of the Pixel 4a. It's just the little things. It's just the little things.